else have some cool stories or anything happening so far this week?
We went and learned more about flyers.
We
Today.
went to Yasmin's
Oh yeah.
company,
I got to meet her.
and she's going to farm it down.
Who's she with now?
I'm here.
Pioneer?
She's
Okay.
gonna be
Yeah.
here on Thursday for Facebook part 2.
Yeah, yeah. I was familiar. I've been familiar with her, but she just. When did she switch companies? Like 3 months ago? 4 months ago? Might have been long
a year
enough.
ago.
Oh, no.
I would say about a year ago.
Time just flies.
Yeah, it does.
Holy cow.
It's the fastest thing on the planet.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I had originally thought that I wanted to do one of those direct mail things, like 1,000, like
EDDM type. Yeah.
And she goes, I don't recommend that.
I need to find my birth certificate. I just turned 57 and I'm not sure that's
You
right.
don't know who you're sending them to.
Came too fast.
You don't know who you're sending them to. People just look at them and toss them. Because it's just like, you know, those things like get your windshield repaired. That's the kind of way people treat them. So she said, let's look at who lives there, how long they've lived there, how much they make, and let's go after those people with the real postcard, and it'll cost 53 cents a unit.
Because
That's
every door direct
printed, both sides, and mail.
fits the 1,000 people on that particular route, regardless of who they are.
Here's all I can say. Okay, I'm not going to say either of those are wrong.
Right, of
I
course
will.
not.
Yeah, it's not. an
Here's the
argument.
big thing.
That was-
Okay.
Okay.
On that one. And this is really what today boils down to, is actually the details.
Details.
Because it really, as much as I hate to say it, both of them are great in their own way, but you have to make sure you complete them both the right way. Okay? It's that simple. So no matter which way you choose to go, do it right. And I wouldn't poo-poo either. Okay? Because are you going to get those people no matter what in that neighborhood with your message? Absolutely. So, where do we begin on this one? Okay. Let's tackle the first one. Okay, with the, well, which one would you like to start with? The Yasmin suggestion or the other side?
Every door direct.
Every door direct. Okay, cool. All right. So, when it comes to, what's the general rule when it comes to staying in front of people, i.e. like your farm, neighborhood, just people you don't know? How often are you supposed to stay in front of them?
Monthly.
A little more than that.
A little more than
2
that?
weeks.
No less than 18 times a year. Okay? That's the general
Because you throw
rule.
in your holidays.
Well, just in general. You can use your holidays, you can use whatever, but you need to make sure, no matter what, you're in front of them 18 times a year, no less than. Okay? If you want to round it up to just 2 times a month instead, that works. You know, because this one breaks down to 1.5 times. I didn't make this up. Keller Williams spent like
And we're talking
billions of
about
dollars to
print
decide.
material.
Yeah. What's that?
We're talking about print material.
We're talking about just staying in front of people. Okay? So your neighborhood,
Being
these
visible.
people that you're talking about, they would be the people. So no matter who you're choosing, you have to stay in front of them that amount, whatever is needed. People you know, in order to stay top of mind and get all the referrals, double that. You need at least 33 times. Okay? And if you read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, these are what they talk about in that. And then there's whole marketing companies that have developed their whole business off of these 2 models. So it's really interesting. Okay, so 18 times. Okay, now that is the minimum amount to get the average or whatever you want to expect. Okay, but there's also the building time involved with it. And that is the problem, because most people give up during this time. Okay, they'll do it for 2-3 months and say, crap, I haven't gotten anything, I've wasted however much money in stock. Okay, and that's the problem. Okay, every door direct, no matter what, or any mailer, devote 6 months to it. Okay, so when you sit down with Yasmin or whoever you're doing it with, figure out your exact plan for 6 months. Okay? Whatever whatever it is. Like it could be whatever you want. It could be comps, it could be a generic ad, it could be holidays. You need to figure that out. So basically, if we go 2 times, you would need to figure out 12 mailers right off the bat, okay? At the 6-month mark, that's when you could hope for a return. Between that 6-month mark, if you get anything, yay. But at 6 months, it's like, okay, the momentum has built, and between 6 months to 12 months, that's when you'll start seeing the results, okay? So let's just hypothetically say you're hoping to get, this neighborhood has 10 sales per year, like this little section, right? So your goal is to get 3 or 4 of those, okay? So during that first 6 months, if you get anything, yay. During that 6 to 12 month mark, if you get 1 or 2, that is an absolute win. Between 12 months plus, that's when you will get the 3 plus or more. Okay? And that is the secret to mailers.
But that's when you're farming.
It's the secret to just kind of marketing in general, but adapted to mailing in this case. Okay? If you're farming, you're owning a neighborhood in a different way because you're also going to be doing open houses. You're hopefully going to be door knocking. You're going to be sending out comps for the neighborhood. If you're farming, you're hoping to become the neighborhood expert. Whereas you could send a mailer out, just sold, just listed, in which case I'm a fan of those being a waste of money. Because you're one time, one blast, a very wide net this deep. You're not going to get much. Okay? I'd rather take a this far net and take it to the bottom and woof. You know? Yeah. So that's the secret with Everdoor Direct and these others. Okay? So most people will never give it to begin with what it needs. I mean, Mom, you planned yours out, and I'm not trying to throw you under the bus. It's just it's an example. You had your farm. You were ready to go. You've had everything set.
Then we moved.
And then what?
She moved.
Oh, and then you moved?
Oh.
But I have to say that I think I did it faithfully for 6 months.
Okay.
And so I planned out what I was doing every month, and it was actually kind of fun.
Did you get any did you get any bites? Because that was the minimum amount, and see, that's the hard part.
See, that's just it.
It's a big commitment.
I don't think I was able to reap the benefit because I didn't, my next part was doing the door-to-door,
Oh.
you know, and so I didn't get to follow through with it,
Yeah.
and that was the problem.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
can I ask something before I forget, okay? So I know you guys were asking about like the code of ethics and stuff, and several other people. So Marty's gonna be coming in September, and her class that she's gonna be teaching us will include code of ethics. All right,
And
that
AR?
won't cost you
The
anything.
biennial?
Yeah.
Woohoo! But if you've done it if you did it last year, you're good, because it's
I
good
did
for
in
2 years.
2017.
Oh, 2017.
So
Yeah.
you're due at the
All
end
right.
of this year in
Yeah,
that case.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
And then all new.
Well,
Like
unless it
all
was
my other
2017.
stuff is done. I
Make
just
sure.
add and
When in
add it.
September?
Well, either way, you
yes.
need it between this year and next year. So either way, I guess you would be good to get it out.
And you know what, Josh? By that
Thursday the
time, I'd like
12th.
to invite a lot of my,
Okay.
Please.
I joined on
Yes.
18th.
I gotta be scheduled.
I mean,
It's gotta
90
fit
days.
mobile
90 days,
because
okay,
your
yeah.
apps do not
So
fit
we
mobile.
have, you joined in
They all
June,
do.
so
Well,
you have
they-
July,
they- I
August,
guarantee they do.
September. Okay.
Promise. But let's,
I'll show you later.
please.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's
Okay.
the only
I'm putting it
bummer.
on
my
It's gonna
later
be
list.
from like 9 to 12,
All right.
But it's free.
but it's free.
I should try.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that very much.
All right. Let's. Okay. So here's where now we're going to take this. Okay, and this is why Everdoor Direct is amazing, because it blankets so many people for the same generic benefit, because your neighborhood is your neighborhood. Okay, and if you run your stats on your neighborhood, and there's about 20 different ways to do it. The way Yasmin's talking about is taking, instead of just blanketing this whole thing, you're taking the odds and trying to up them. So what you're gonna spend on is gonna give you a greater return percentage-wise, right? Which we could analyze to make sure, we could look at that neighborhood and tell you if that's a good investment or if this other one's gonna be better, okay? And it's just taking that time and effort to be able to figure that out, to know truly which one is the better decision, okay? So, okay, do you understand the 6-month part? So like, let's say you're gonna spend $300 a month, okay? If that's gonna be a drain in your bank account after 6 months, you're gonna be like, crap, I wasted this money. Don't do it. You know what I mean? Don't put yourself out. Buy internet leads or do open houses and advertise for those because you're gonna get face-to-face and you're gonna get a return faster, okay?
Are you talking
They're
about
both great.
$300 over like the 6 months or $300 a month?
$300, well, if you're taking it every door direct, okay? And let's just say you're gonna do it that way. You'd be spending about $125 a month, depending on the size of your neighborhood.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay,
say if you
and
want
then the
to-
time involved and stuff like that, so let's just round it off and, call it $200 a month, round it, okay? So 6 months, you'd be spending $1,200, okay? That $1,200, it adds up over time, So just make sure that you're giving yourself the best chance to succeed to begin with, because if you're gonna use mailers, for example, as these 18, okay? That would be 2 mailers a month, in which case it would be $250 plus time and effort, okay? Or you could do open houses, or you can do phone calls, or you can do door knocking. There's all kinds of stuff you can do to maintain that face-to-face, right? So, nonetheless, that point came across, correct? So, let's say you're gonna take your 6 months, let's just do the whole year, okay? And this will make it a true even thing. Okay, so let's say you start off with an average farm that's just easy to do. So you'll do an every door direct to just blanket the neighborhood, okay? Let's say it has 500 homes. Your average neighborhood has about a 5% moving ratio per year. So 500 homes should have about 25 people move, okay? 25 people move. Okay? Your goal at the end of this time, once you're up and running, is to get a third of those. Okay? So your goal would be approximately 7, let's just up it to 8.
Yeah.
Okay? So off of 8. So monetarily speaking, you're going to be spending the time and the money for all of that for hopefully 8 sales. Okay? You're not going to get the 8 sales at the 12-month mark. You'll probably get 4 or 5, but the second year, that is a truly valid goal. Absolutely. Okay? So let's just say that first year you get half of your goal. Okay? So you get that 4 sales. Okay?
Half? Okay, never mind. Okay, I get you.
Your goal is 8.
Yeah. First 6 months, you're probably not going to get anything. Let's say hopefully that second 6 months you do get half your goal. That's all. Okay? So off of that, and I know these are a lot of numbers I'm throwing at you. I'm sorry, I wasn't ready for this. Okay, let's just say your average sales $250,000. No, $200,000. Let's just make the numbers really easy for right now. $6,000 paycheck. Let's just say you're on the 70-30 split, so you'll take home about $4,200. Okay, right around there. Okay, so $4,200 times 4. That should be approximately $16,000 and some change. Okay.
Molly just landed.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just say approximately 16K. All right. Now, that 16K, you spent $125 a month times 2, because you did 2 mailers. Let's just say, so you spent $250 times 12. So that would be 2,500, 2,750. Okay, so minus 2,750. And that, holding your money accountable, that should be your return on your investment, okay? Using that
And
bracket.
it's totally tax deductible.
That's true.
This is for business.
That's why you should go on the cruise and get all your continuing ed too.
Oh, another question, I'll write it down.
So is Tony telling us that we can apply, or at least, I think he says we can do something to...
And he's your unlicensed assistant,
Yeah.
and there you go. It's too funny. Okay.
I love taxes.
Yes.
I said I love taxes.
Yeah, if done properly. Unfortunately, when you're trying to qualify for a decent-sized home, this was the first year I was like, ooh, this can hurt a little bit. You actually have to document, like try to claim money instead of hide it all.
Right.
Not hide it all, but you know, properly allocate it. Okay,
I'm
so
still allocating.
when it comes to that, that'll tell you your basic return, and then you can see how much time and effort it's going to take.
So
Now,
it
yeah.
has a longer sales cycle, you would say, than open houses?
Mailers in general, absolutely.
Mailers in general have a longer sales cycle.
Yes, yeah, okay. And building and developing a farm is its own thing, okay?
And that's just a component of that thing.
I would only use mailers as a component. I wouldn't ever base one solely on mailers. Okay.
Right. And of the two types, which do you prefer?
This is just easier. The time and the effort it takes to do this is just easier.
Even though a good percentage is wasted?
Yep.
You
And
know,
that's
but
why
I-
you need
but
to be
I
as efficient
wanna-
as possible.
Yeah, but I want
Yeah.
to throw out, I think what I love about the farming and doing like the mailer is that's not like the only thing I'm doing because, you know, I'm going to be doing the open houses, I'm going to be doing the door-to-door.
Yeah.
What else?
Keep-
You know,
keep
I'm
talking.
gonna take advantage, I'm gonna do my reverse prospecting with sales and, you know, there's other things that I will be doing that I
Right.
think says that this is just a little piece of my having more than, say, like the 4 sales a year. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, but I just think if you're farming, if you want it's about impressions, right? It's about making your face familiar. The more impressions someone has, the more recognizable you become.
Think of it as a marketing campaign, not a one and done. And that's the main reason you think of it. It's one piece of the puzzle as a whole. And this is why I really, really try to start everybody off from scratch and work your way up. That way you're not going to miss any of these things. Because like the first thing first is, what is your business plan? How much do you need to make? How many sales do you need to make? Okay, so based on how many sales you need to make, what is your plan to make those sales? And each one of these things has its own method and thing to do. If you want to do open houses, you need to do a certain amount to do that. If you want internet leads, you're going to need internet leads a certain amount to get that goal. You know, if you're going to do a farm, it's going to be a certain thing. Database is a whole different thing. Each one of these can be catered to what you need it to do. And you just need to make sure to do it. Okay? So here's the thing about mailers. Very rarely will you send out one mailer and be like, oh my God, sell my home. You know, it's not, it's just like a, okay, here, trash, 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 okay, trash, trash. And then next month, they see your face again. It's like, oh, okay, trash, 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 trash. And then 8 months later, they're going through and they're like, hey, remember we were talking about selling our home last night? Well, here, why don't we call her? Okay, trash, trash. And that's how that works.
So that's just
What about-
random luck too, so throw
It's
your.
being there when they're
the
ready.
universe.
It's just being there when they're ready. And if you're always there in one way, shape, or form,
You'll be there when they're
congratulations,
ready.
you got it. You know? Yeah.
What about the
Let me show them.
putting them on the front doors? They have the people canvassing
door knock,
neighborhood. Well, there's door
Yeah.
knocking.
Oh.
If you're doing that near an open
Well, I
house, but
mean,
if you
okay.
pay a service to put it on the door so it's not in that stack and people have to touch it to remove it, or door hangers.
Yeah.
Are those any more effective? Because they have to touch them?
It really depends on the neighborhood. My neighborhood, they're terrible because they never reach my door. They always put them on my gate, and nobody ever gets them. A lot of people have mailers are one of the least effective things, literally speaking. I really can't say any door knocking door hangers, because instead of paying somebody to door hang, I knock them on that door, and if they don't answer, I hang something or slip it in, and it's the same thing, you know.
But it's even like
But
when you're
when it-
advertising your
But the
open house,
objective
is
is
really
putting that
face to
flyer out.
face. That's
Exactly.
it.
That's the whole point. If you're doing an open house in the neighborhood, somewhat effective. Just listed, just sold, somewhat effective. If it's just part of your regular mailer campaign and you're just wanting to do those people, I wouldn't recommend it as just a singular thing. But doing an open house, part of Lister Assister is, that's one of the coolest things they do, is that they'll send those out the week beforehand. They'll door knock like hang 1,000 door hangers around that neighborhood prior to. listing power tools, they'll send out mailers, and they'll choose the whatever. It's more expensive, but it's singular and it's great. And they'll actually do an open house and everything, and it'll brand it right to you. And everybody who even clicks on that website, it's given a certain tag to it, that mailer, where it automatically gets fielded. And it's the way they identify these people is just really cool. Okay, so when you do those and people actually click on it, it somehow tracks it back and gives you all kinds of great information, just like they're able to do with your cell phone.
It's called Lister what?
Lister Assister.
Well, Lister Assister is the people who will do the flyers for you for really cheap. They'll put out 100 open house signs for you for really cheap. They just need a week or two's notice.
Who is it?
Lister Assister. They're local
Lister
here.
Sister?
Yeah, they're local here in Toledo, I
Assister.
believe.
Huh?
Yeah,
Assister.
Lister Assister.
Like an assistant?
Like
Yeah.
AASS.
And then Listing Power Tools is my company, and they do just listed, price reduced, open houses, just sold. So they'll send out any of those particular branded ones about theirs, because it all comes back to their website and tracking and follow-up and all that stuff. Anybody that clicks on, anybody that does the text code, we automatically get their name, phone number, everything. And anybody that clicks on that other ad, whether it's from their cell phone or from their computer, tracks their information too somehow. So it's really cool. So if you're going to do it, that's the way. It tracks the information. That's why I love Listing Power Tools. It's worth the extra because I'm not just blinking. If any homeowner clicks on it, they don't know that I know that they did. And each home gets a certain tag. That's how they do it. It's really, they do like a reverse reference with tax records for homeowners and puts a correlation to them, I guess you could say. It's kind of neat. Yeah. So anyway, that's why I think they're worth the $200 a month I spend just for the service. But I think they're worth it. You know. Okay. So, coming back to the other then. Yasmin has a great point, okay? And that's where a lot of escrow companies use certain programs to get information, okay? I'm hoping to re-up ours too because we need it in general again. But you can target people in Arizona. How often do people move? Every 4 to 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. So you can target those people. So you can take your neighborhood and find everybody who's owned their home at least 4 years, okay? On top of that, they'll give you the phone numbers, email addresses, and even birthdays of a lot of them.
She also said I could choose income level, loan to.
You could do the loan to value, how much they owe, stuff like that. Ours doesn't do income, but if hers does, that's one step further.
But
Ours
you
does
have
all that
one
other.
that does that?
There's a couple that are there's a couple in our industry that are just known, and I don't know which one she's using. Most of them, I don't want to throw it out there because they're not supposed to use it that way.
Just
So
let
I
her
don't
do
want to give
that.
anybody back.
Direct has the ability to pull in the income.
Well, yeah, every direct will give you the average income and household, people per household and all that stuff before you do it. Yeah, so you can even target some better. It's amazing. One street over, they'll make $20,000 more on average.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
You know.
Yeah, no. So there's a lot of programs that do that. So the only difference is you're having to target market the people, but you're still dealing with the averages for the neighborhoods and things like that. So you're gonna be spending way more per person. So let's just say, and who knows? Let's see how this will play out in this case. You've got, what did she say it was per mailer? How much was it?
Like 49 cents.
53 cents.
Oh.
Okay, so theoretically, how many people, because in a neighborhood, you're still dealing with the same amounts. So if you're going to target a neighborhood, you're going to be just dealing with those 30, 40, 50 people per neighborhood?
She's gonna send me one on it, but I did put in my parameters, which were they had to make over $50,000 a year, they had to have at least 20% equity in their home. And she wanted me to send her
Link.
the active pendings and closed in the last 30 days. So she
In
could put
that
those all on
area.
the back, because like,
Yeah.
she
Okay.
said, people look at this.
So you're
They wanna
providing her
know
a lot
what
of
their
this information
neighbors-
too on top of it.
Right.
Okay. So you're going to factor all that in as well, because you're spending a lot more time and things on it. as well. So you're gonna have to factor in all these things, okay?
Right.
And then make sure that the percentage is, because you're gonna be sending it out to the same people in that same area no matter what. Is the amount of people that you're gonna be going to gonna warrant all that extra time, effort, and money per? Because these things, okay, you can pick them up at the title company. It'll come in the whole packet. You just print off the ticket, take it down to the post office, say, here you go, and then you pay for it. It's literally that simple. You don't have to sort through anything. You're not doing any necessary
You just divide it
research.
into packages of 100.
There you go. And most of the time, the title company will provide it.
Now let me ask you this, you pay for printing? No?
Not with, as long as you're going halvesies and you're paying for the mailing.
Halvesies.
In other words, on the ad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I wondered why Liberty closing cost was down here on a Keller Williams, which shows here.
Yep.
Because
But it's
You
called
will-
Arizona
yeah.
Performance Realty here. I was like a little confused with all these different
They're all going
names.
in it.
My lord. Oh, AZ Performance Realty Team. And they're part of Keller Williams. See, that's the problem with teams, because yeah.
Then it says back here,
That's funny.
there's some kind of team, and it's not her.
Yeah. So, for example, here, oh, well, it's just a text message. Okay, so
The
all I can
Collins
say is
team.
it's going to be a lot more time and effort. Now, for example, if you're looking at the big picture, I can't tell you what's more important: following up with your database, right? And actually, because you have a wonderful database, and so like for you to tackle them and mail them stuff on purpose would be one of the best uses of your time. And your database needs 33 contacts a year, so you should be thinking, how can I stay in front of them 3 times a month? And sending out mailers, doing all that same fun stuff, but on a different level for them.
And the object is hopefully to find resources where it does not cost me an arm and a leg to do my advertising. And that's why, in
Well, your
partnering,
database has-
say for example, with Tony Scardina, where that he won't charge you to create the flyer. And so that means my only expense is through every door direct, and it comes out to like 18 cents a mailing.
18 cents, but you have to buy 1,000 at a time, right?
No. With every door direct, I choose, like, for example, I chose, my neighborhood had roughly 500 homes because I felt that that was manageable for me.
Okay.
And then, but I created a different, like, flyer, different information every month so that it seemed like I was bringing value to that community, but I had to make it affordable for me. And so I spent at the most maybe $90 to mail out 500 flyers.
Okay.
This one.
Oh. Okay. So think of it kind of like a menu. All right.
Yeah.
So instead of thinking like these, and these are all the same thing, it's kind of like, okay, what's the best use of my time? I honestly think that your database is the best use of your time. I think it's going to it's a 10% return, and it's one of your natural fortes, and I would be maxing the crap out of it. So what does that need? No less than 33 plus touches per year. So are you going to mix it up between phone calls, mailers, text, pop-bys, parties, barbecues? You know, those are all part of this plan, okay? So you have email, mail, text, call. Which of these do I want to utilize in here? Now, inside any of these, minus calling, what do you want to send them? Video has the highest conversion rate, but people are scared to make video.
I'm not, I want to learn more about that too. In fact, I was going to ask you something. I wrote it down for after,
Yeah,
and
Cool.
it says right there.
cool.
Right
Right on.
there. Look, for
Let's
after,
see.
right there.
All right. So,
Expenses coming in.
internet right now is easy because everybody starts looking online. So you can buy leads and have a predictable thing. But the only problem is buying leads costs money, and you have such a low conversion rate that you have to guarantee you're doing the proper follow-up to guarantee you're going to get those returns. Otherwise, they will be a huge waste of money. And that's what we're constantly fighting as a brokerage. Okay? Open houses. Benefit of open house, face-to-face. 80% of people go with the first realtor they meet face-to-face. That's why when you get an internet lead, it's worth it to show them the first house. Hey, you just checked out Bird Street. It's a gorgeous home. Free to check it out tomorrow? You know? And you'll get that face-to-face meeting. Boom, they might not buy that house, but you got them, so they will be your client when they do buy the house. Okay?
Michelle and I would like to do open houses.
Yeah. You can do, they're easy. Absolutely. Right? And farming is a weird variation of a bunch of the different things, right? Because you're doing open houses, you're doing mailers, you're hopefully going to get their email addresses, and you're going to start just blanketing with stuff. And you're going to be the expert in that neighborhood, right?
Is the open houses 18 sign-in makes 5 sales?
Yes, exactly. Well, 18 sign-ins equals 1 sale.
Oh.
So it equals out to about 6%, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all about follow-up, again. Okay. So, okay, so this was kind of spontaneous. So, any questions on this in general?
Well, if I could just ask,
Is it
under
really-
video, is that print?
Yeah, you got
Okay.
video, print, and picture.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, you know, when it comes to your database, Popeyes would definitely be one on those, you know, visiting your people. Internet, you know, you're gonna call them 12 times the first month, right? And then 1 or 2 times per month. How many contacts is that? Then you're gonna supplement that with 1 or 2 emails per month. And then you're gonna supplement that with hopefully a text or 2. So between everything, you're hitting them on multiple channels multiple times per month. And that's really how you're gonna, and then you take it one next step. It's like, okay, so I wanna send an intro video, that way they can see my face and see who they're talking to, because that's gonna make the best first impression as opposed to some random letter, right? Then next, we could send them a quick print saying, hey, thank you so much for using my website. Your average person starts looking online like a year in advance, so don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here from start to finish. Thank you. You know, quick and easy. Then the next one, send them a little graph or a picture or something funny. You know, just who knows, you know, send them a market update with some cool information and some bells and whistles. And you just keep changing it up, you know. But planning it out to make sure you do it. Time flies. And unless you say, oh, it's been 2 weeks and have it on your schedule, send that out, you're gonna miss it. Unless I scheduled Sunday, do 12 videos today, things will get in the way. It sucks. Okay, so odds and ends. Here's what I wanted to do. Why do I always choose the one that is eraser?
Well, just think of that little extra effort.
It's like a bicep workout every time.
Here, look.
That stuff, unfortunately, does not work as well as you'd hope. I mean, it's
Good marketing though.
yeah.
Then just regular rubbing alcohol.
It works when I have time to still spray, wipe, dry, spray, wipe, dry. Okay, so that's enough room for right now. Okay, odds and ends. I'll keep going while you guys start thinking about it. Okay, take 2 minutes and write down as many odds and ends as you can think of that you should probably set up or do or think you should do. As in, I'll give you some ideas, okay? Have you set up your profiles on all of the websites? HomeSnap, Zillow, Trulia, MLS, Realtor.com. Have you set them up so that way everywhere in the public, have you actually done a search to see some other ones to make sure you're on those? Have you actually done either a template or set up any drip campaigns or actual planned follow-up emails for different people? Like buyers, sellers. Did you meet them at an open house? Are they from your database? each one of these people are going to need those messages throughout the year. Have you thought about it? Find them out. Portals. Are you in the habit of setting up portals for every single person who does a search? And do you look at those portals? Ever? Or see who's getting updates, who's checking them? Plan out your schedule. Let's take a big one. Done your business plan. Have you actually worked out your business plan? Figure out how many hours, what days, what you're going to do at certain times of the day to make sure nothing gets missed. Okay, so that's a bunch. Accounting, I mean, I could go on. So think about it from so many different angles and take 2 or 3 minutes and see either how many you might need to do, how many you can think of, and even ones that you might have done but you think are important to make sure everybody else knows. They're so nice and clean when I first started.
How many things did we have to have?
Oh, just as many as you can think of.
Okay.
Or whatever you think you might need. Alright,
I need to do more templates. I only got one done. I only got the buyer and the seller done
Alright, hold on a second. See
This one.
templates.
and Michelle was pulling your templates out of the G drive and putting it into constant contact in 10 seconds or less.
Well, let me break that down. What I was doing was using content from the scripts inside
Oh.
the content for email marketing.
Oh, cool.
Constant contact.
Oh, right on.
And it
Good
looks
move.
so professional.
Good move.
So this weekend, we did some training and set up constant contact, and I started building my database, and I showed her how to download all of hers and to get it in there, and then started to show her how to use constant contact.
That's
for
awesome.
Marketing.
Were
So
you
just-
creating like an Excel worksheet then to be able to export in that
You
information
can
over,
export
or
your
how were
email
you doing it?
contacts to a CVS file,
Yeah.
and then upload the CVS file to constant contact.
Yeah.
And it will, people can opt out and you'll get your bounce backs, and you just keep cleaning your database to relevant contacts over the course of time. And so what I wanted to do, and why I tried to set up the website, to get that set up today, was so that I could include my website, and I was gonna send out a 4th of July constant contact
Yeah.
email
Yeah.
blast. So
Did
I
you get it
used-
set up?
Hopefully Todd will get back to you here shortly. He
I
usually
waited a
takes
long time, so it's almost a holiday, I don't know if I'll have to.
Well, he needs at least a day or two to set it up.
Yeah.
Okay. So he did get back to us yesterday or the day before. So he'll probably, that was yesterday. You emailed. So he should.
No.
I would imagine.
I got, and then that was the other piece, is I got my bio done today for the website. So once we get that, I can use the bio to populate the sites, because I've set up my accounts, but they're
Yeah.
just have a picture.
Make sure to tell him. Okay. And this is where a lot of agents they're not thinking website. They're thinking bio. Like what he's also used to setting up a lot of just generic pages. Okay. So make sure to tell him, I want minimal bio, I want maximum searching. Okay? And tell him that. Okay?
Minimum bio and maximum what?
Searching. Like, I don't care about me. I just want people using my page and my site because that's where I'm going to be sending people to. I want to get leads off of it. And tell him that.
Okay.
All right?
Good.
Most
Yeah.
brokerages
I
provide
do.
profile pages and most agents will give like 2 or 3 paragraphs, and then the search will be at the very bottom, or if any. Okay? So, and any of the leads you generate from your page are yours. That's why you have your own domains and your own extension, because that's how they feel them.
Right, and then, so minimal bio, I wrote a sizable bio.
I know.
Anywhere else.
A long time
Everywhere
ago.
else.
Okay.
Everywhere else except for
I was
that
like,
page.
this is too
And you
much.
can even tell them to set up a second page. That's fine. And have it on that search page. That's fine.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine, bio.
You just want to send all your leads to somewhere to
Mighty
search.
Michelle,
Yeah.
MBA.
Got it. And then,
Short and sweet.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm awesome. Use me. Here's humps.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so templates, very cool. Yeah, that is a huge one. That adds up. I mean, entering one offer takes an hour or more. Doing a template, you can easily do it in 20 minutes.
Okay, and then I have to do a drip campaign, but I'm learning constant contact, so I believe that I'll be able to do that very soon.
They have that in Real Geeks, don't you have?
Real
Can you
Geeks
just
has,
build it out? Because I saw it in there when I was in there today.
there's some generic stuff that we have in there, but I would strongly suggest, because you're you and you're you, so the verbiage you use would be different. You could take them as a template, but customize them for you, the way you talk and your message. Okay, I stole, for example, you have access to all mine, and I've tweaked mine. I use so many different things, you know. I'm always tweaking stuff. But then I stole Perfect Storm Now, Joshua Smith. I stole their drip campaign, and that's what I put in there too. So like when you see like the 33 or whatever emails, I stole that from Joshua Smith. That's what they use. Okay, and they sell like 600 homes. And honestly, half of them I'm not even a huge fan of his, but it's good information. It's a good starting point, and you'll have 20 some odd to choose from, and just start plugging them in. Anything's better than nothing, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of not working, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Need to
where.
learn- I need to learn how to actually do it.
Yeah, they So in Real Geeks, you did see. Do you have it open by chance?
No,
Okay.
And I wanted to ask about Bonbon
Bomb Bomb's fun.
in Real Geeks.
Okay, unfortunately, that's the one thing it's only. Bomb Bomb and them only allow for one user total per account.
So that's yours?
I'm no longer using Bomb Bomb.
Who is?
I don't think anybody is at the moment, so we can forward that to somebody, but we just need to make sure that nobody else uses it. Is the key.
Yes.
That's the one catch that they haven't fully integrated between the whole thing.
And that,
Okay.
Now, Bonbon is where you get to do your own little video messages?
Yeah, it's bomb bomb, like 2 explosions. Bomb bomb.
Oh. Not those things you
Not
sit
that
on the
can't-
couch and eat.
Exactly. Yeah. Bomb bomb is one of the most convenient ways to send video messaging via text, email, and it shows up with your video in the email, and they click on it, as opposed to being a.
A 3-second video clip is what Nar said.
Well,
Takes your video to the next level.
Well, Bomb Bomb, you can send all kinds of different videos. It says, do you want to watch this 59-second video? And you'll just click on it. Via text messaging, like for example, Lion Desk, they do the same thing, but they only allow, like, on text messaging, 10-second videos or something like that. So, Bomb Bomb is the most popular video messaging service in general. When you're sending emails and texts, that's just a unique thing. To be able to have it send conveniently, show up where it looks like a video, and people can just click on it there, and they'll do a whole branding thing where your emails look amazing. Yeah, Bomb Bomb's a great service.
With just one user though.
Well, how it's integrated with Real Geeks. Okay,
Oh.
you can
Yeah,
use
yeah,
the service yourself easily. It's just one of those extra little perks inside there. So, yeah, okay. And I've messaged them about 20 times over the last 3 years about that one. So hopefully they're on that, because that's kind of bugging me too. Okay.
My next one was Facebook, and we're rolling right along on that because Jasmine's coming in Thursday for Facebook Part 2.
Okay. Now beyond that, and I wish, oh man, that stinks. I literally pulled up and got sick in the parking lot. That was terrible that morning.
and I am so sorry, we were not, we did video
Did she
it,
go
so-
over, I'm sure she went over setting it up, but how often you're supposed to post, what you're supposed to post, all that stuff.
That is what's gonna be part of part 2.
Okay, perfect.
She kind of gave me a preview on that. And I said, I look forward to
Something
learning
you
that.
might, are you familiar with Hootsuite?
With Hootsuite?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay, it's one of the cool things that once you are fully trying to integrate all your social media, I just signed up for it. It's made Molly's in my life eat
What's it
wonderful.
called?
Hootsuite, as in like the hoot of an owl and
I've heard
sweet.
it.
Yeah.
I know that.
It's like $10 a month or something like that, but it coordinates where you just do one message and you can schedule it on all the different platforms. So it'll work up with up to, well, depending on the level of membership that you do per month, like $9 a month allows you 30 different ones. So you're talking Facebook, Facebook Business, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat,
You mean
groups
an ad
inside of them.
distributor?
And
An
what's that?
ad distributor?
Well, you can, and it's any post. It could be generic ones like, hey, I just took my daughter to the airport and just poof, put it over. You could schedule it for the entire month. So you just spend 3 hours, schedule everything for every single platform, and be done with it. Walk away, and it'll just post everything at the right time. And what's great is that it does videos, and it does, it actually posts better than like, you know how Instagram, well, YouTube posts, but it posts the generic clicky thing. It doesn't actually do the video, you know, and it's annoying, right? Hootsuite does the full video. Like it'll actually, boom, put the video up there. It's not a link or anything. It's a real thing.
So it's
awesome.
$9 per month per social media outlet?
No, that's for the big one that allows you 30, I don't have enough to even remotely fill it. I wish.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's $9 a month for as many as you can possibly do?
Yeah, and instead of going to YouTube, or instead of going to Facebook, doing stuff here, and then you go into Facebook Business and doing your stuff here, and then going into Instagram, doing it here, it'll just,
You
go
just
to
do it
Hootsuite
here and then you post it.
Yep. You just go in and forward it, connect it to all your stuff. It's awesome.
Well, that sounds extremely reasonable.
Yeah.
That's social media for all of your followers, like everyone you're connected to.
It's all your pages.
Nothing sponsored.
Well, it's your, okay. Forgive me on that one because Molly's the one that does that posting, and
Okay.
I haven't tried to boost anything there.
Okay.
I don't know. Any of my boosted stuff we actually do through real
Well, where's
use
Molly?
itself.
She's
Just
in
landed.
Washington.
Oh.
She just
It's so cool.
landed.
Speaking of
That'd be
social
really-
media.
That would be really cool if you could boost it. If it's
Yeah,
just like a
I
video.
think you can, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have to ask Molly.
Well, I can pull it up after.
I'll even
show
have
you
to do
too.
MySpace.
Well, this is what's so cool is that, okay, so Molly is raised in this generation, right? So in kindergarten, she met this girl, Ashlyn, and we became really good friends with her family. I ended up selling their home when they moved. And what was it, second grade? I think it was in second grade, they moved to Washington. Molly and Ashlyn have stayed in contact this entire time.
Wow, that's great.
And I mean, they're states away, but they'll be just chatting as they're getting dressed for school and stuff like that. And you know, when the time
Just
changes,
like
they get annoyed with each other. It's so funny. But every summer, we've been able to go like Molly, and so Molly's going over there for a week, and when she comes back, Ashlyn's coming with her to spend a week out here.
Right.
It's so cool.
It is.
It
cool.
is.
And so she does most of the social for you.
Well, right now when it comes to our classes and my daily tidbits.
Right.
Um,
Well, it makes sense.
yeah.
I'm going to use my daughter Beth. She's 20.
Yeah.
They're digital natives.
Oh,
They speak
Christmas.
an entirely different language,
Yeah.
and they're better at it.
Yeah.
Straight
I
up,
do
because
most
they
of
grew
it.
up with it. We try, and I try to.
She
keep
brags
up.
on my content. She's like, I was like, why didn't this do anything? She's like, because it's crappy content.
Right.
Well, help.
They know how to
Yes.
use the programs.
Yeah.
I mean, Beth
They-
has, I think, over 1,000 followers. Like she's built communities through school, through church, through cheer. She's got a huge community.
Yeah.
Just hers. She has
Yeah.
she has
Molly has
actually a saleable size audience on
Yeah,
her
she-
stuff.
Molly's got her gym, her church
Yeah.
friends, her school friends, family, and then, I mean, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so funny how they just like, Snapchat is like their thing big time.
I
And
know,
it's-
I'm not on it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I deleted it. I'll put it back on. It just got really annoying to me.
Well, now that I have Hootsuite again, it might make sense again. So, yeah, I started it and then I canceled it too.
Do you still use Cahoots?
I remember that, but I
I don't
don't
know
know.
what
Isn't
it is.
that what Jeff?
It was-
uses?
Is that where you
Yeah.
do question?
I didn't-
I think Jeff, and then you do like a consensus and it pulls up who answers how many.
Is that what it is?
Isn't that what
I
Jeff-
I think
tried
that's where you
using
post like
it.
the questions or something like that, and you get opinions or whatever.
That's one of the first things I saw you bring up, and I tried loading it in when I got home because I couldn't get internet here. And it's loading my phone down for some reason. I ended
Yeah, I
up
don't
taking
know.
it out, I wasn't able to use it.
I'm sorry, I don't know where I
You can buy half-size
suggested it
bottles
from.
at Costco.
I honestly am not
I'm
familiar.
not
I
sure
don't know.
that's what Jeff
I think it's
Jeff might have had
has.
it, or
I think it's an app of the day kind of thing or something.
maybe. I don't
Because
know.
that's how he
Huh?
engaged us in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So-
stuck up. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
She wants them engraved. She said this looks cheap.
I didn't say, no. I didn't say I want it engraved.
I know, I was just exaggerating.
I think that,
It's not sparkling.
it reminds me of Rose Sklodowski putting stickers on our business cards.
Do we have any of the
Phone
bee?
number change.
Do we have any bee water left?
No.
That was brilliant, that exterminator. And he got the full-size bottles and his
Oh,
labels
yeah.
were really good. I was really
I
surprised.
think it was
Yeah.
shrink wrapped or something
Something,
with
yeah.
his logo on
I was
it.
surprised for an exterminator, it was pretty good. It was really, really
Yeah, no,
good.
you can buy sleeves. You can buy sleeves and drop them in, dip them in hot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it costs a little more, takes a little more time, but
yeah.
it looks good.
All right, so yeah, Facebook, and that's where Yasmin's awesome coming back to talk about posting content, and that's where using Real Geeks in general for your business page makes it really easy. And we could ever call me, we could brainstorm ideas about what to send, because just like what did we cover that one night? Homes with pools. Check out the greatest deals in this area, and you can choose umpteen number of areas. Choose a different area for a day. Do a different one. You can go by neighborhood. Check out the most expensive homes. Check out the newest listings in the last 24 hours. Golf course lots. There's so many different angles, and you could just send out things, right? Which of these 4 homes has the best kitchen? There's different triggering things. So get creative, and those are free. Okay, you could post stuff for free and then send it out to groups for free. It's up to you if you actually want to pay to boost anything, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's a whole other thing, and that's where, we were talking about classes and role playing. Okay, so this is where I'm leaving it up to you to be my schedule person, you and Molly. Role playing class. Okay, we've had several requests for role playing.
Oh, how about that? That's on my list.
I want to, before I forget.
Now, you mean someone, because Kevin is one that is great for, what do you mean for role play? But where
Well,
he
there you
puts
go.
us
That's
through-
where I'll leave it up to you guys. So what were you like? Internet leads, phone calls, scripts,
Absolutely.
like.
This is what I wrote to wait till the end.
Read it.
Can we do bitch sessions on leads? Which means, so you can show us how to manage follow-up on things that we believe are dead?
Yeah.
Because you have ways of, you have ways of
Absolutely.
making it work. So I think that we should come in here and say what our most frustrating thing is about it, so that you can work with our objections to make it a smoother process for us.
Break down
Yeah.
the frustration.
So to what extent can we detail these things? Because Tuesday nights are meant to be that new agent training. Okay. And I would love to get to the point where we have several new agents and outside new agents, but it's really, really hard to advertise on that level, okay? So I guess I don't want to hurt our business plan because we have to advertise these things to get them out to the masses, right? Tuesday nights, we can do different variations of different things, okay? So we can actually do, for example, I could change it to like a 10-week series, and we could, for example, like internet leads, for example, is a big enough topic to do its own thing.
Yeah.
But even,
Open houses
we could even
are-
take, like, for example, this is week 8, and it's tackling the details, and so that's one of the details is like role
Yeah.
play, so it's,
Because like,
What's your
I was gonna say, for open houses, can we just join you at one to learn? Wouldn't that be first real hand example, or no? Is that,
to an extent, unfortunately, they're not very regular, okay? And it's hard to say if or when I'll be doing them, okay? Like right now, after this one, I'm gonna have a little bit of a lull, kind of on purpose, because I have 2 big deals that I'm working on that are gonna be closing in 2 weeks, and plus we're trying to hire a new person. So like right now, my actual listing crap, I'm giving away most of my leads right now, because I'm just following up at once. Well, be careful having opinions about leads.
Fresh
Careful.
ones, yes.
Okay? Because they are what they are, and optimism and just making the most of knowing what they are is the key.
Right.
And
So-
what it is
so-
too with open houses is that even though you have the same property, every week that you, go ahead. I
Well,
was gonna
okay,
say
because
it
we're talking,
has-
okay,
yeah.
so just get back on track.
Yeah.
Okay, how to throw, because you're brand new, okay? And in
Yeah.
Breakthrough Breakout Training, I think it's the 2nd session, I talked to you about how to start planning your grand opening. That's why it's important to get to that, to get through them as soon as possible, because if not, it kind of, you start getting further and further behind. So, to hold your first open house, most people don't know how to throw an open house, and people are not going to be with me for the week and a half of a lot of stuff that I do to ensure my open house is successful. And that's the key. If you help me throw out a bunch of signs and see how I walk people through, that's only
Yeah.
1/20th of what goes into the open house. So I will, yeah, it's one
I
of those
watched
things.
it.
Yeah.
I've watched 1 and 2.
Okay, cool. So did number 2, did it have you start it, or is it number 3?
No, I haven't gotten there with
Okay.
everything else that,
All right.
all of the signups and all of the
That was a
everything.
lot of work.
Exactly. Number 2 is huge.
Yeah, I
It is.
haven't worked my way through the content, and I'm gonna have to re-watch the end of that to see, because that was the first thing that I watched, because number 2 was saved as number 1.
That's weird. I wonder how that happened.
I don't know.
Because the
So
email I sent you, I checked,
it even
and I was,
says training 2 on it, but I just kept watching it going,
Oh, yeah.
well, the
we
one
were
that I
good for that.
sent was session 1.
yes, and I
So
went
what
back,
was?
so then I went back to session 1 and started there with the business.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is what got sent to you first, because I was trying to find
That's
what got
how
sent
it's
to
saved
you.
in the share drive from the email. So
Oh,
where
in
the
the
share,
shared drive. Okay, so somebody
So
went to the.
number 1 and 2 are
So
the same
when-
on the share drive.
So somebody
Hold on,
sent you
that-
the drive version, not the
So-
YouTube version on that one.
the folder, the generic office folder that is shared with me as an agent, when I click in there and I go to breakthrough training, number 2 is 1 and 2.
You're not supposed to have that. Okay. Okay.
I'm not supposed to have it?
Agents aren't supposed to have access to the Breakthrough Breakout training in general, because they're supposed to be given it once they finish this next session. Once you've gone through, like once you get
Not at all.
through each, yeah, that's not supposed to be. So I'm glad you told me.
Yeah. it's all
I was only going off of the email that I sent you, because that's all you were supposed to have.
Yeah,
Good
so
to know.
I've got that,
Okay.
and that's, well, that's.
Okay, because
and
number
the
1,
folder has all
I
the scripts
yeah, no,
and
there's
marketing.
no, I know what the folder has. I'm specifically talking Breakthrough Breakout training, specifically speaking.
Uh-huh.
Agents aren't supposed to have access to all those videos, because I need to. People, for some reason, agents don't like homework. And nobody comes to me for their homework to verify that they finished Breakthrough Breakout training.
I'm almost
'Cause
done, I haven't.
You're supposed to come to
finished
me, and then I give you session 2, and then once I verify that you've done everything. So session 1, it's printing off an MLS listing and showing it to me, and then you show me the difference between the customer sheet and your sheet, because that's very important. That's one of those stupid details that you need to make sure you have right. And then you start showing me the property, like pointing out certain things, showing that certain things so you can present to your client when you go show your first home. Okay? So that's supposed to be the homework for the first one, probably so you're ready to go out and show homes. Okay? And then the next thing was set up all your profiles and everything on those things. And there was a third thing. What was it? There's actually like 4 things that
business
truly.
plan.
The business plan. Thank you. Exactly. And so you're supposed to show, and we have a quick business plan print off, so you can do that to show that. And then that's kind of the basics to go to the next part. So
You have a business plan in the share drive?
it's in there probably somewhere. I know we have a bunch of them printed off here, and we could do that. I love doing that. That's first. That's the first Agent 101. We go through that. Okay. So there's so many odds and ends, and that's what overwhelms people. It's like, which hat am I wearing today? MLS, contracts, marketing, accounting. Which hat am I wearing right now?
Software guy.
Yeah, exactly. To my IT.
I'm on my
Hate
way
IT
to
days.
the post office and I realize I'm late for my open house.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no. And then you have somebody else showing you, where are you? Oh no.
I didn't know.
Oh, that's the.
We had somebody who actually went to a wrong house to do the open house.
Oh, no.
Oh man. I got a call because I had an agent I was with. That's the other problem with, please make sure you're holding yourself accountable to other agents, okay? If you're doing an open house and somebody else is listing, be on time, please be respectful. This person was an hour late, and they told me after the fact, like about 20 minutes later, because they didn't know that other people had also called me, and they told me what was obviously not the truth, unfortunately. And then, see, this is why open house training is just there. It's the details that you wouldn't think. There was one agent, and this is why we don't have those signs anymore, that we used to have just generic open house signs, and then you put the arrows on top, whatever you need, you know? And they put out all their signs, but forgot to put arrows on top.
Oh.
So there was just a bunch of random open house signs with no directionals, letting people know where to go. And then she was really disappointed
I like to get there
that,
an hour early because I love.
and she was so disappointed because nobody showed up to her open house. It was like, oh crap, that so sucks.
Well, who put out
So-
your signs?
No, it wasn't her. It was
No,
just an
no,
agent.
no,
Oh
it
yeah.
was-
Yeah, mom's more than on. She shows up way early and.
Yeah,
How
Richard
did she
would like
know?
to put up like
Yeah.
20.
Well, I think the most I
You
put
can
up
never
was
have
14
enough
in like a
signs.
5-mile
Yeah.
circle. But that was way out there and
Oh,
needed
yeah.
more exposure.
That was
I think
Waddell.
20
Yeah.
plus.
That was
More is
Waddell.
more when it comes to open houses. More is
Yeah.
more, hands down. But there was another one where, and the agent that we were talking about in particular, number one, she was doing an open house at my listing, and unfortunately, I texted her the address, I sent her some information, so this is where, unfortunately, I was too privy to this, and this is where you need to separate your broker from a lot of stuff. I'm your broker. I don't need to know everything, and I'm not supposed to know everything. You guys are self-employed, you know, I'm here to train and help out. Don't tell me the details. She didn't show up on time, number one, so I had an agent call me because she was expecting the open house to be there. And she was respectfully showing her client at the open house, right? So she's like, where's your agent? She's not here. I'm like, I don't know. And so I call her up. She's like, oh, I'm 2 minutes away. It's like, oh, okay, good. So then a little bit later, I get a call, and it's like, so we're here for an open house. Nobody's here. And it was a person. And I'd done advertising for this open house. And I was like, she's not there yet? No. It's like, oh. So I call her up. She's like, I'm putting out signs. Okay. It's like an hour after it was supposed to start, you're putting out signs. Okay. A little bit later, it's like, the agent's still not here. And I get another call. It's like, you have all this stuff advertised that there's an open house today. I'm like, dang, this would have been a great turnout. And it was the one in Goodyear that when I did an open house, nobody showed up. I think I had 2 people. And this time I already had 3 people wonder where this person was.
Oh, that's funny.
And
You know, we should hide inside for 30 minutes while they're coming to the door and they keep calling you.
She put
Exactly.
that
So
Yep,
a little bit
she was-
later,
yes.
I found out through the grapevine that she didn't show up to the house first. So she went out to where she thought this house was and started putting out signs. She was in the wrong neighborhood, in the wrong area, and started putting out signs in some random neighborhood far away, and then I don't even know what happened. I don't even know when she got to the street and realized, this is the wrong street? I have no clue. This agent had so many issues, like, I can't even tell you.
This would
Anybody
never
see the house
happen
that
with
day?
us.
It's like show up early, verify the address, ideally show up to the house first, check it,
Go.
you know, and do stuff there, and then take off to, you know, there's so many
Get your
just,
cookies baking, make sure the milk is cold.
but in the end, I don't think I'm pretty sure the open house never transpired.
I don't think
I'm pretty
so.
sure. Yeah. So, anyway.
Because when things were jumping, Marilyn was setting out all the paperwork and doing the staging and stuff while I was starting at the house and moving outwards, putting the signs up, like
That's the
2
way
or
to
3
do it.
hours early.
That's the way to do it. That way, When they see it, they go to the house and can be waiting for you. You just put a little sign on the door, hey, I'm putting out signs, be back in 5 minutes, it's worth the wait, thank you so much. You know, exactly, that's how you do it, or you have somebody there. And same thing, when I pick up the signs, I unfortunately go out to the furthest one away, I still put my sign back out, and then I come to it and hope that there might be 1 or 2 people still waiting for me when I get back. And then you leave, and nobody's been inconvenienced, and it's good. It's the harder, longer way to do it, but it's the way you should do it. Yeah. So, okay, so open house training. So where I was going with that is we can adapt some of these 9 weeks, add a week or 2. I'm not opposed to that. Tell me what you guys think we need and let's incorporate it, okay? And then the second part to that is Thursdays. We basically have a big class we advertise to the world every other Thursday, but I don't want to inundate you with classes because you guys need to be working too. But we can have a class in here every opposite Thursday for just breakthrough people and do the role-playing sessions just randomly without association to Agent 101,
And
you know
we're
what I mean?
working
Just
around
us.
your schedule, okay?
Oh, I'll come to class on Thursday night if you're
Yeah.
at it, personally.
Well, we can do nights, days, we can do a variety of stuff. So let me,
That's
'Cause-
why we'll
Yeah.
work around.
I got in trouble up front for having classes every week and people got mad at me. And so now I'm scared about throwing too much at you guys because I want to offset it nicely.
I love this Agent 101. This is my 3rd time to be going through this.
Yeah.
And every single time it's something different. But I need to know if you're gonna tweak that because I've got some guests coming in for our Agent 101. So you've gotta let me know when you're gonna change it.
Yeah, well that's where we'll do it for the next series around.
Yeah.
We'll do it properly because we're finishing up the series. So
Yeah, cause I
we
got
got
Keith
next
coming,
week. We got next week is Find Your Niche, and it's the last, and then we start the series again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
So what Josh was suggesting was,
Next week I'm out of town.
No, you're not allowed.
Oh.
Nice. Okay.
gotta go to the East Coast. But,
Really? Some fun.
well, I think what you were suggesting was every other Thursday a voluntary role-playing session with
Well,
a
it can be whatever you
topic.
guys
Yeah.
want. I'll leave this one up to you guys. I don't want to formally put anything there. So if you guys want, like, if you want to do a role playing, and we could set it up, like, if you want a role playing once a month, and then we could do like a Real Geeks class once a month, and we could do like an internet, like, well, there's only two extra weeks. So, you know, like, I'm open, you guys. Whatever you guys need
Okay.
or want, let's do it.
Let's think about everything that you know right now and kind of focus on what you want to know more about. Like, I have some key areas I want to know more about, but that's mostly, I just got to go online and look it up. But things that you want to role play or discuss.
Right.
Because this Thursday's 4th of July, so we're talking next Thursday's Yasmin. So we can do the one after that.
Yeah.
We can do whatever you guys want.
Because the next
Yeah.
week I have some weeks.
Perfect.
And that gives us time, because really, I'm learning a lot. I don't know what I need to know, so it's kind of hard for me to contribute to what should be planned for that Thursday night at this.
Yeah. No, and you're doing so much. I mean, the fact you jumped on Zip Forms, you're rocking. The fact you're on your website, you're doing great. You've got your what was it that you got?
So if I can ask, speaking of zip forms, are you using
Sure,
Instanet Transaction Desk?
I don't really have that though.
Yeah,
I
we
just clicked
can't
on
use
those stuff.
transaction desk without an
I don't
MLS
understand
number.
Did you happen to open Real Geeks?
Yeah, I did.
Questions? Okay. So the array up there on the top,
Transaction
right?
desk wants you to put an MLS
Yeah.
number in.
Well, if you have it,
Yeah.
and so you just pull it up
I
and
can navigate
grab
there
the
that way.
MLS number.
But
Yeah, but you can't use it unless you have a transaction, is what I'm
Oh.
saying.
Shoot.
Well,
Okay.
Michelle-
No, not necessarily, because you can still do your
There's two different
templates.
places
He's
I have to
just
go
saying
to.
Oh,
that
my
if you
templates
have, yes,
in,
yeah,
Michelle, we did our templates in zip forms.
and they need
Now we
to
need to do templates in
be, you need to move them over to
transaction,
Instanet.
move them to
Yeah.
transaction desk.
Well, kind of. I mean, you have time on that, so that's not urgent. You know, by the end of the year, you'll need to do that. Yeah. And then those.
So, yeah, I'm just thinking that it's just easier to start using Instanet.
If possible, it's
So
usually
yeah,
start
why would
Why-
I use it for?
Yeah, because it's going away, so just acclimate yourself to Instanet, okay?
Okay.
So the instant is fully enabled now.
Yeah.
It's fully up and running.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just
so
gonna.
hard to
And
get
but-
in the hang
and
of
I
having
do
I'm
to
gonna
go
learn
to
that
it.
way.
I've
Okay,
had
I've
zip
got
forms
Jeff
my
coming a
whole
couple
career.
more
Right.
times.
It's it's been the one constant. We've switched MLSs.
Do you
we've switched all
enter
kinds
through
of things.
MLS or do you enter through
yeah,
But
AAR
zip forms have always been.
when you
It's
use
always been there.
transaction desk?
Right now, I'm doing it through AAR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever see that YouTube video of the vigil for the Taco Bell that burned down? It's like us old school realtors, we need to have a vigil for zip farms because it's been the only constant in my life for 10 years and now it's going
interesting.
away.
I said,
That's
that's
good
what Jeff
too.
was mad about it
That's
too.
good
He's like,
content.
why aren't you making a
That's
desktop
good content. That's a
version?
good video clip.
Why can't we have
A bunch of
something to
realtors
hold?
standing around with
You
zip
know?
forms burning down.
Yeah,
That's cute content.
that would be good.
And I think that we all have to get a mobile, what do you call them, a hotspot now.
Your phone's a mobile
Oh,
It
hotspot.
depends on how fast you need,
Huh?
exactly.
Your phone's a mobile
It's
But
hotspot.
how do I get it to work?
I'll show you.
You go.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends
Michelle,
on how
will show
much.
me.
If you're sending a lot of information, you'll need one, but most people don't.
And it says hotspot.
Maryland drip campaign, good. Oh, yeah.
So,
Jeez, yeah, we just gave. Okay,
And
so you got drip
that's
campaign,
because I'm in my closet.
Facebook.
You're in your closet,
blog.
when
I
you're
mean,
coming
I
out.
have my text.
Okay.
When are you coming out?
Never.
Alright.
Okay, do overs?
Go ahead and refresh. I'm not sure if you need to log out and log back in, or if
Okay,
it'll actually
let's
work
check it
now. Okay, so before you go, I did want to share this. This was up front the story. So I had my worst bad appraisal in 2 years today. It doesn't sound like a lot, but the fact it's only a $200,000 house essentially, it didn't appraise by $14,000. Yeah, my offer was $219 and it appraised for $205. And not ideal because it's FHA. FHA appraisals stick for 6 months. So even if this buyer doesn't stick to it, we can't accept any other
And same
FHA
thing for
or
a
VA
VA
buyer.
loan too. VA is good for 6 months.
So switch your buyer
So-
to conventional.
Well, it's not my buyer. I have the listing. Okay.
Oh.
So this is the fun part about have you had to do many disputes of appraisals?
Yes,
FHA.
we used to argue appraisals all the time, but I don't think we did them with the FHA.
So this is the form in the packet that I had to fill out and do today, which
Which argues and you have to give evidence and,
it's so funny because it's a request for appraisal reconsideration. That's the nice way of saying it.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just share this with you guys because I kind of made sure I supported my case. So I gave the comps, I gave my story, I gave little things behind the three. But look at how funny when you're talking about the other homes, it just stays on one line. It wouldn't let you change it. So it got smaller and smaller. So I went ahead and wrote my email too. But I gave comps 3 different ways for the. I did the neighborhood, I did the area,
Look at this.
I did the recent comps, and I highlighted the points that they needed to look at that supported my case. I compared the years, the views, the upgrades. I mean, okay. Number one, she said that tell me if this even makes sense. That you can have 2 load
That goes
supply.
right there.
There's okay, so it's a seller's market, that there's not enough supply, but the prices are stable.
Yeah, that's
They're
really,
not declining
really,
or
really
going up.
strange.
You could have a seller's market with not enough supply, yet prices are not going up. That doesn't make any sense. And that's the angle she used in going into this appraisal. So she was trying to keep it the same or less.
Before she walked
And
in.
Well, without
look at
even-
the pending and everything
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
So anyway, I attacked it from every angle
That
to
goes on
ensure.
top of that,
But
that
this
goes
took
on
so
top of that.
long
This
today,
goes
and
underneath.
it was not the way I wanted to wake up.
You got it.
Literally, like the first email I got this morning was this agent telling me that it didn't appraise. And so, Buckeye, like I took the city of Buckeye, and then I took it as specific as possible. Only 3 bedrooms, only 2 baths, between 1,500 and 1,600 square feet, built after 2005. And then I used no pool, only 2-car garage, lot under my size, and I took all of those, right? That still came out to $6,000 more
Like the two.
Then you're listening
than mine.
price?
And mine was built in 2017, has solar, and is like brand new, and has a view. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I took that one. I took the neighborhood as a whole, and I said the average sale in this neighborhood is $140 a square foot, exactly what we got. And so I sent them that one, and I just took it from
What did
every
you
angle that I could.
base?
Yeah,
What on earth, what criteria was based on that appraisal?
I have no idea. Like the other one that's pending was $214.9, and
I told you the one about the VA where, the woman in California had bought a new build, and, the VA wanted the original certificate of
Yeah.
Terminex treatment.
the original
Well, there's a posted sticker inside the electrical box that's a certificate with a number that shows the Terminex information.
Okay.
That was not satisfactory for the VA, and they pulled the loan at the last second.
That's so weird.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
The lady in California, she bought it as a spec home. She doesn't have the paperwork on that. The builder says, we're not responsible, we gave it to her, she owns it. That was crazy.
Alright, so I wrote down a huge list of just odds and ends that you might want to think about, consider. If you've done them, great. If you haven't, definitely wouldn't hurt to have them as a regular part of your business. And we have unlimited pages, by the way, on our website. And we also have a blog / could be a vlog if you wanted to. That's part of our thing. So if you ever want to do more, do neighborhood, have a focus, do a neighborhood type thing, whatever it is, we can just do whatever you want. Okay, so think about that. Todd, the guy who does our websites, he had a team go through and literally do a CMA ability for every neighborhood he can find in Maricopa County. He actually paid
That
his
was an
team to go.
exercise?
He paid his team to go neighborhood by neighborhood by neighborhood to set him up. So when it comes to Real Geeks, that's his specialty. That's what he is. That's why his website is RG Site Builder, because he is the Real Geeks specialist. So he's really cool. Okay, he'll charge you for the work if you have him do it. If you're competent to do it and not mess up anything else, I can give you access to do stuff. Yeah, or if you have somebody that you know, please recommend them. Okay, website.
By the way, can anybody recommend
Slogan.
a landscaper?
Yeah.
Writes like a guy.
Residential?
Yeah.
Marketing.
Yeah, we got a guy, I don't know what his travel range is.
Can I get his contact information?
Yeah, come along with your
I got a
stuff.
guy. I got a guy too. He came today. We only use him once a month. though.
Okay.
His name is Jesus.
Oh, let me tell you a funny one. I called one of the leads today, and her name was Sue. And I said, "Hi Sue, it's Marilyn. Are you ready to go shopping?" She's like,
She's
"Marilyn
like, who are you?
Yeah. I said, "Marilyn Conlon from Breakthrough Real Estate."
602.
She says, "How do you know me?" I go, "I don't know. Your
403.
number's in my phone. I figured that we met somewhere."
He's really good. He trims my Palo
So
Verdes.
rounded
He's
out.
run lines to all
That's
of
weird.
my
Um,
pots with my flowers and my garden
Basically,
bed and all
you're
of
gonna
that.
find
He
on
has
the-
a bit of an accent, but he speaks
getting,
English well.
just doing the
I had
time,
a home
basically,
where,
right?
Well, I'm
And
trying
trying-
everybody.
about 6
Well,
weeks
no, but it's,
into it,
you
the
see, letting me
tenant
finish
says,
to get to the
nobody's
end,
coming to do
knowing
the
what to
landscape.
expect, okay?
And now it's been
And
3 months.
don't, you
I've
gotta
seen
know
2
to,
people
you're gonna
finish
develop your spiel
and
to last over time, okay?
We're having
Figure your
company
average person you're talking to today
Thursday.
is the person who's gonna buy in 6 to 12 months, because that's your average person. So you're just trying to develop rapport and be there for them and offer them value every single time, okay? And literally, they're not gonna say they need you until the moment they need you, and that's gonna be 6 to 12 months out for your average person. And out of 100 leads you get, you're only gonna get 6 of those. So you're gonna be following up with 94% of the people are not going to end up ever using you, answering you, or having a good conversation. But until they say, take me off your list officially, like in a very, very bad way, or if you verify,
What about
if
the
you
opt
verify,
outs, when they opt out of text on the, so I've noticed in there they'll opt out of certain things.
Yep, exactly.
And what do you do?
Well, that's it. So it'll stop sending them those automatically. So if they opt out of text messaging, it'll stop out of text. If they stopped their auto emails, you'll see it says all contact.
Yeah, it pops up, because some of you can do emails, some of you can still send them tags.
All contact means that they're gone. Yeah, if they opted out entirely. So you could call them a dead lead at that point in time. Yeah. If they just say stop calling me, neither here nor there, to call them 6 months later.
Texted me, stop communicating with me.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in buying a house.
Yeah, and in those
And
cases,
I was gonna say, in those cases,
You set them up for
you set them
A
up for
year
a year
follow-up.
later, right?
or
well,
9 months.
it
or
depends
more.
on your comfort level, okay? Because that's exactly what it means. I'm not looking today, okay? Stop talking to me. I don't need you, right? So I would typically go 6 months. If I know, if it seems like they're the homeowner, like it seems like there might be something there, maybe 6 months, but if not, I'll just put them a year out and see, if they say at that point in time, everything, okay, here's all I'm trying to get, and it's hard getting this idea to people. What they say to you today is what they're going to say to you today. You're not going to know anything about what they're saying or why until you've done what you're supposed to do for the 6 months to a year. Okay? Your average internet lead, if you have 100 of them, you're going to have somebody who's going to do something in the next 3 months. Okay? You will, if you're following up with them. You'll have more people that are 3 to 6 months out, but your 6 months, 12, that seems to be the theme for people. The people you talk to today are going to be fall, and then once fall starts, we're waiting till after the first of the year. Then you're waiting for spring, and then you're waiting for summer. You always have those people who are waiting for something to happen. I need my tax return so I can have my down payment. Things like that. So you're always waiting, and you're trying to be ready for those. And that's where it's not, this phone call is not a one and done. It's part of my 12 I'm going to give you, or 18 calls I'm going to give you over the course of the year. And you're just fulfilling, okay, these people are in their third call. The third call typically, and here, really fast, my first one, so my first call. I'll give you my list of voicemails, okay, because that gives you the thing. All right, hey, this is Josh Zell with Breakthrough Real Estate and Property Management. Thank you so much for using my website. It means a lot to me. Hey, I specialize in the Phoenix area, so you're looking at films in Phoenix. So happy to help. Give me a call when you can. Blah, 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 blah. Thanks, okay? Next one. Hey, it's Josh Zell. Thanks again for using my website. That home you saw there on Bird Street, that's a really cool home. Do you guys by chance want to go take a look at it? Give me a call back, blah, 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 blah. Next message. Hey, it's Josh Zell again. Hey, I know I keep calling you, but I'm really excited to help you, but don't worry. I know you guys are probably looking a few months out, so I don't feel any pressure. But if you have any questions, give me a call. Talk to you later. Next one down. And you just go down that list. And
Damn, I've been trying to get appointments.
well, you can, but you have to use those for the people who inquired about a home. That's where that script is. Hey, thank you so much for inquiring. Hey, this is Marilyn with Breakthrough Real Estate. You just checked out Bird Street. It's a great home. Do you guys want to take a look at it tonight or tomorrow? No, we're just looking. Oh, you're just looking. That's fantastic. When are you guys looking to be in your new home by? Oh, 6 months or so. Oh, 6 months. That's great. So, are you guys looking to be in this area? And you just keep the conversation going, okay? And that's the rapport part. Okay, the moment you come across like the salesman, that's when people are blah. So just be careful about going too much to that side. Okay, if you'll pick up on the signs. Okay.
I'll get the hang of it, yeah.
Yeah, well, you just gotta talk to people.
Yeah, You love talking to people. Just
Talk
be,
to people and keep them engaged.
that's Mom's thing. She gets so focused on that end point that she gets too excited. And it's not that she's not a salesperson, because she's just excited.
I can hear you. You just gotta keep people talking.
That was one of the greatest tools, and when we get to the role playing, that's one of the things I want to play, is the BS game, right? So first person, it's the question game, but then you have, okay, so first person to run out of BS loses, right? So one person will act like a client, one person will act like the salesman, and you just start BSing. So, how's it going, Richard? And then you just keep going back and forth, and you try to like either stump or just keep the conversation going and going and going, right? And first person to mention the topic loses, right? So if the person says, "So why'd you call me today?" Oh, then you know they just asked you the question. You know, if you say, "So you came to my website," oh, you lost. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's lots of
that
fun
sounds
things.
the stuff like, I like that.
that was fun to watch.
I like that.
It's
Okay,
silly.
let me see if I
There
have
was
any
one
more
I got
questions.
thrown off, and it's inappropriate.
Oh.
Nobody would ever do it.
I
But
wanted
literally,
to show you
I
how
walked.
it came in on my text.
You
I
lost
walked
track
in.
or something.
I walked into the store. This is when I was selling patio furniture. Was when the guy showed us this. He's like, "So, you had sex last night?" I was like, "Oh, crap!" All right. I was totally thrown off. I was like, "What? Oh man!" I had no response for that one.
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's not like you'd ever say that to a real client, but yeah. So let's see. Did I get any more? Yeah, we got templates. E-sign, you guys got. Ooh, past clients. Yeah. So eventually you're gonna have past clients, but you need to know what you're gonna do with them the moment you get one. Your sphere. Everybody has a sphere, and that is your greatest source of returns, hands down, because you're gonna get sales and referrals, and that is just they're the best thing in the world. And so you want to have a great thing for your sphere. And
What specifically is top of mind? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
top of mind, what are you doing to just stay top of mind with people? Are you social media? Is your total awareness there? And beyond that, what is it? What are you known for? Do you have anything that would make you a great referral for people, or just there in front at anything? For example, churches, your family, your friends, a certain group, your work, a niche, Facebook. I mean, there's so many different things you can do that you can just focus on to become a top of mind type thing. You know, like
Tabletop?
tabletop is what we base our whole thing kind of off of, and that's what you'll learn in the 101 class. And well, it's in the breakthrough breakout training too. And this is kind of what we were kind of going on tonight, but pretty much, oops, that's a horrible table, sorry about that. Okay, so right now, you have the tried and true in our real estate industry, okay? For example, open houses are always there, right? And they're one of the greatest ways anybody can go out and get face-to-face with somebody. And if you do 5 open houses in a week, you're gonna get some clients, okay? So it's one of the tried and true things that if you add an open house, one per month, that's an asset to your tabletop, okay? It's one way you're gonna get clients on a regular basis, right? Right now, you have the internet, okay? And it's gonna be there for the foreseeable future. 90+% of people start looking online. So you need to have an internet presence. Website, getting internet leads, whatnot. It's part of your tabletop, right? And then the next part is your database, okay? Or your sphere. SOI, COI, whatever you want to call it. And everybody knows people. The moment you start going out there, you can start meeting people. And every single person you meet goes into your database. And you start following up with those people, okay? And like we just said, that's your greatest source. Internet leads, you know, the greatest people in the country have a 10% return on their internet leads. The greatest, okay? Open houses, you can get down to 1 out of 10 if you're really, really good. The average is 1 out of 15, 1 out of 20, okay? So your database, literally 10%, okay? That leaves one part of your data, one part of your leg. And that's what we cover next week. There are so many cool niches in real estate. you don't have to get stuck doing something you don't like. You're gonna have to learn and pay your dues to get to that point probably.
Yeah.
But you can end up selling $1 million homes if you want. You can work golf course communities. You can do so many things.
Do you use any pay-per-click advertising to make yourself your name more searchable?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
We do breakthrough. Okay, so we do as a whole. Let's just say right now we're not doing Google pay-per-click. We're experimenting with Real Geeks version of Facebook versions of it.
Does it help with overall SEO?
Well, I want to see which one's going to give us the greatest return. Okay, because top of mind, it's really hard to gauge, and that's what's really, really tough.
And it's probably, how much is it per click for real estate in the region?
Well, okay,
it's gotta be expensive.
And if you're going for sellers, it's way more expensive than if you're going for buyers, which if you're just going for like awareness in general, because there's even those out there. We're going for brand recognition. I'm not going for leads, I'm going for brand recognition.
Right.
Google's really tough, and we have a great company that I don't want to say I quit because I wanted to try this thing from Real Geeks and see how it works because they work great and they're Aftershock. They're all about digital marketing. They'll do anything and everything when it comes to marketing. And so it's like, hey, we want to try something with property management and Google. And so they'll say like, okay, well, here's what we think we can do, and here's what, based on this, here's what we think the lead conversion will be. And they'll come up with a whole plan for you. It's really, really cool. But it's upwards of $15 to $20 per lead. When it comes to Facebook, our horrible ones will be like the videos where I am just going for awareness, not necessarily for leads. I'll be upwards of $20, $25 a lead. But our real ones will get down to $1, depending on what we're going for. If you go for just a generic, check out these golf course communities, they're not very good. Okay, they're great for awareness, you'll get out to thousands of people, but you're not going to get a lot of leads from them. When we have time, let me show you the listing power tools. Check out Listing Power Tools homepage. Because they actually compare those. Because they have a digital marketing campaign that goes out to New York Times, goes out to hundreds of different awesome places. And they flat out tell you, no, this one's not going to get you leads, it's just going to get your name in front of 1 billion people.
Okay, do you know what software actually counts your business versus personal automobile miles?
There's an app for
Don't
that.
you have one of those?
I just,
Do you use MileIQ?